Hey guys, what's up? This is Ashish from and welcome to your another Power BI tutorial. And in this tutorial, we'll learn something about relationships and yeah, relationships between tables. Okay, so getting started with that. So if you remember, this is from our previous movie or previous tutorial where we did the data model and we have the female chess players and the universal date which we had put it. So let's do some cool stuff with it. Just go over here where it says diagram view, just click on it and see what happens. And you'll see this one, a box where it says all the columns of your table are over here. Okay, so I'll just increase the size of it so that I don't have to scroll each and every time. So now suppose if I want to link any of these two by a column, so I'll just click on one and I'll drag all the way to where it has to look. Okay, but as I think if you remember, I told in the previous tutorial that we need that blank values in the date so that we can see that why it's an error. So as you see, there's an error over here. It says blank values not allowed. So let's just rectify it. Let's go to data view, and data view is nothing but your worksheet. So let's see, let's just check how many blanks do we have. So I'll just scroll all the way down and I'll select blank. So there's only one way. So as I said, in this you cannot edit. So you cannot edit your query over here. So if you want to get rid of those blanks, you'll have to either go to your query editor and do it, and the other way to do it is I think it is easier than the other one. I'll just delete it. I'll say yes. So that is gone now, and if you check it in your diagram view as well, we'll have just one grandmasters. So I'll go to data view again and I'll say take it from the source, external source, the Excel file, and I'll browse all the way where I have my file. Okay, so I'll use the first row of the column as the header, then I'll test the connection. It says test connection succeeded. I'll click OK. I'll move next, and I'll change it to guess what, universal dates. Okay, and then I'll click on preview and filter. If you remember from the previous tutorial, this is a real helpful thing. So I'll just uncheck the blank. So what this would do for me is it would just ignore all the blank values, and with the help of which I can ignore the blanks and have only valid data. Okay, so I'll hit finish, and if you remember from the previous tutorial, it was 2557, but it's one row less this time. So I'll click on close and it's done. So now let's go to our diagram view again and let's just check if it still works or not. I'll just scroll this a bit down. Looks good. So now birth date to this date. It should work, and congratulations, it works. Okay, so now you have this nice glow around it. So this means that this table is related. Okay, it just looks I mean, it's already connected. The glow looks pretty good when you have large amount of data over here. Okay, so this mark over here shows that they are related to each other, and when you have a larger set of tables, you'll have the small glows, like it'll look really good. Okay, so getting along, this is one way to do it, one way of creating the relation between two tables. Now let me show you another way on how you can create the relations. So that was one way of creating relation. Now let's see another way of creating relations. And before that, let me tell you, when you are in your diagram view, you can, if you don't want any of the table, you can just right click over it, you can delete it, it will delete the table. And if you don't want any relationships, you can right click on that and you can delete the relation. Okay, so I'll just do that for now. I'll just delete it. Yes. So there's no relation between them. So other way of doing it is go to your design and say create relationships. And here it would ask you which table. I'll say this table, and I want which column. I want birth date. And from the lookup table or the reference table, here is for us as universal date. So I'll select universal date and I'll say the date. Okay, and I'll click on create. So as you can see, it created the relationship as we wanted. So those were the two ways where you can create the relationships between two tables. So those were the two ways of creating table. One was getting over here, create relationships. Other was going into your data diagram and doing it. So you can zoom in or zoom out when you're in your diagram view. It can be done just by dragging this and zooming it in, or dragging it out to zoom out. Okay, so now importing your data, as I showed you from Excel, it's almost similar when you want to do it from different database as well. It's almost same though, how to put the server name extra, I think, and apart from that there's nothing much extra. It's pretty simple and pretty easy. Okay, so I think that's it for this tutorial, guys. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Take care and happy learning, and please don't forget to subscribe.